What's going on, guys? I have a 2019 Camaro SS with the LT1. I don't care if I said it wrong, but you know, the 6.2 liter. And this is for the guys that are debating if you wanted to do it. Well, if you heard that it could only come out, the engine could only come out from the bottom. This is here showing proof that it is possible. It is possible to come out the top. Let me tell you, this is not no easy task, but if you are a person that does mechanical work, this is not a hard job. I can tell you that now. It really wasn't a hard job. It just was a lot of bolts and stuff involved. But I'm gonna tell you some tips and tricks that I learned taking this out of here that'll help you out. The reason why I had to pull it with the torque converter still attached was because, as you can see here, yeah, you can see that there. I don't have to explain it, but I couldn't turn the crank to get the bolts out, so I had to pull it with the torque converter. So the reason why I say this is for tips for some of you that may have that issue, the torque converter, you have to pull it with the torque converter or not. The problem is these studs right here. When you take them out right here on those studs go in these holes right here. When you get ready to pick this engine up, the way that Chevy or General Motors designed this car, this is how tight the transmission into the firewall. You have no room to pick up the motor off of these studs right here and clear the bell housing with the torque converter. You have no room. So what I did was, as you can see over there, can you see that right there? What I did was, after I took the bolts out, I dropped the subframe at an angle. I didn't completely remove it. All I did was hit those bolts. Let me get up under here and I'll show you. Let me get up under here. All I did was I hit this rear bolt right here. There's a bolt right here. There's a bolt right here. But you're not gonna see it, but it's a bolt way up in there that's hidden. Let me see if I can get in there and show you guys. Do you see that bolt right there? There's a bolt right there that's hidden. That you gonna hit. If you hit all three of those bolts, you're gonna be confused on why it still wouldn't come down. So there's a bolt over there. There's a bolt there, and over there. And all I did was get up here. All I did was, as you can see, I dropped the cradle down. So even though I cleared the studs, here, dropping the cradle completely allowed me to clear the studs all the way down so I could go forward. So what that allowed me to do, that allowed me to move it forward, and it had plenty of room. When I say plenty of room, it allowed me to come plenty of room forward, then go straight up with no issues whatsoever. I did decide to take the AC compressor off because I don't like, some people like discharging the AC system. I don't like doing it. If I can go through a little bit, 30 extra minutes to get the AC compressor off, I will. That's the way that I done it. Now, the way to get this AC compressor off of here, I'm gonna tell you a tip. What I did was, I hit these sway bar links right here on both sides. And then I also hit these two bolts right here on the power steering. Number 2 bolts. One bolt here, the 15 millimeter bolts with a bolt and a nut. And then these are 13 millimeter sway bar links. I took these 2 off. All I did was took it off and I brung it down. Let it drop down. And I took the sway bar link off right here and let it drop down just so I could get to this bottom bolt on this AC compressor. Like, it's nowhere you can get in there with a wrench, but like, it didn't take long at all to hit these 2 bolts here, boom, boom, and hit those 2 bolts, hit these 2 bolts, swing this forward, let it fall down, let this fall down so you can get to that bolt. When you get to that bolt, everything else is easy peasy because you can get to this bolt. You can also get to that rear bolt on the back of the AC compressor, and it'll allow you to just leave the AC compressor in the car so you wouldn't have to discharge your AC system. Yeah, so that's, like I say, that was a little task. And also there's this cover right here. Where is it? There it goes, right here. This cover right here that goes under the windshield wipers. Man, take it off. There's not that many bolts. Take it off. It's these couple little bolts right here, all the way down, and they actually little adhesive stuck on it. Man, take it off. When you take this off, man, you take this off, when you take the hood off and you take that off, man, you can see straight down here, and you will be able to get to these bell housing bolts. Back here is one here. There's one here, and there's this one right here. This one is gonna be kind of tight to get to, but I'm gonna tell you, all you have to do to get to this bolt right here, because it's so close to this firewall, what you have to do is hit those transmission bolts up under here. You hit those transmission bolts and let it drop down at an angle. When this drop down at an angle like that, what that allows is, that allows this bolt, instead of being pointed here, it'll be pointed towards the downward area, and you'll be able to get a 15 millimeter. And I'm gonna tell you now, get a 15 millimeter. Don't use, let me see, where is it? Do not use one of these swivels. Do not use one of these swivels right here. This right here will hit the firewall and it will get stuck. Now the swivel to use is the one that you might not like these. But if you have one of these, it allows it to get in there at a hard angle and come out of there with no problem. Like I say, do not use this. This is what I like to use as a mechanic. I love using this, but it got stuck against the firewall, so I had to tighten it back up, take this off, and then get one of these, because it has more angle to get the bolt up out of there, out of that firewall. Because I'm telling you, them bolts on that side, they the hardest ones to get to. This one here is pretty easy. This one here is pretty easy. It's the one that's, let me see, is that the one? Yeah, it's this one right here. This one right here is that one easy. Like I said, this one here is pretty easy. Is this one right here. It's up in this little corner right here, and it's against the firewall. It's hard to get to, but if you drop that bolts on that transmission and let it tip down, the bolts will be able to go down off in that trough right there beside the exhaust, and it makes this a lot easier. So, yeah, that's the tip that I had, that you could get it out of here. And I'm gonna tell you another tip. Another tip is with the wire harness. The wire harness will not come out like this, how I have it. The reason why is because the wire harness, I'm gonna show you. That wire harness, when you're taking it off, you will have to leave the wire harness. Everything will be disconnected, but the wire harness go here. It goes here, but they have these things on them. You have to feed these through the wire harness, and you have to take it back through this motor mount. Take it back through this motor mount, and then when you take these off right here, because these won't fit through that hole. Let me see if you can see it. These will not fit through that hole like that. Take them off. They're real easy. They'll just come right on off of here. When you get ready to put them back on, you just pop them back through the hole. Leave the wire harness on here until you get the engine about yay high. And when you get about yay high, you can drop this AC compressor down, and you can fish those wires through this right here and come out. And when you come out, this one's gonna be attached to it too. This one right here is attached to this one, and it also goes to the power steering. When you take this wire out, when you get that motor by yay high, you can actually fish all them wires through here. And when you get it through here, you can actually swing it across the whole motor, and it'll go over there in the corner, and it'll make this a lot easier for you. Don't try to fight it. Just get most of the wire harness off as you can, and when you get it up in the air, you can get that off. And then you'll have another connector that you can't get to, and that one was for the alternator. You're gonna run into this wire on this alternator, right? Where is it? I just seen it. I just had it right here. You're gonna run into this one. Don't worry about getting this one off while the motor is in there. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. You're gonna waste a lot of time while the engine is still in the engine bay. Just leave it on there. When you get the motor about yay high up in the air, you can actually hit this while the motor is hovering. You can hit this one right here. You can hit this one. You can finish dropping AC compressor, and you can fish all those wires through, and you'll be able to come out with the whole harness. The wires I was telling you about with the thing on them is these wires. The one that go to the NOx sensor and to the oil pressure sensor. These the ones that I could not fish through because they had those things on them. But like I say, don't be alarmed that you're gonna be tangled up with wires. When you get that motor out and up by halfway, you'll be able to work and get all that, disconnected. Now, I know this video is taking a long time, but I'm trying to give you as much knowledge as I can. Getting this engine up out of here, like I say, it was a lot of connectors and stuff, but it really wasn't that bad now that I've got it out of here and I'm giving you that information. You will need to move your radiator fan. That'll give you that little clearance so this right here won't hit it. But it's plenty. Once you get that radiator fan up out of here, it's plenty of room. Now, I did now to get the radiator fan out of here. I'm gonna show you something that I didn't know. I kept pulling. I thought it was only this bolt here, and I only thought it was this bolt here, and then it just came up off these clips. No, there is bolts. See, there is bolts up under there. You got to get up under here. There is bolts up under here to get this radiator fan up out of here, and you do have to remove this this splash guard up under there to get that up out of there. I did find that you do have to remove this support, this support up under here. It's not that many bolts. The bolts are literally here, and then there's some bolts through these little holes. You got a couple here, and you have a couple on that back side. You do that, and it'll when you take that off, it will expose everything. It'll expose the sway bar link. It'll expose everything. With that in the way, you can't get to nothing. So I recommend removing that first. I'm sorry, I should have said that first in the video. I recommend removing that first, because the bolts that hit it is these bolts here, and then the other bolts is they right here, and then the last bolt will end up on the frame back there. So you get that cradle out the way, you get that splash guard out the way, all this will be exposed to you. So I do want you to know that when you get that splash guard up out of there, remember I telling you about the radiator fan? The radiator fan, these are the bolts. Because when you get those bolts up there for the radiator fan, you're gonna be confused on every time you pull up why it wouldn't come up. But the reason why, it was because of these little bolts at the bottom of it was allowing you to not be able to do that. Now let me tell you something else about the radiator fan. Let me tell you something else about the radiator fan. The radiator fan is going to get hit up on this hose right here when you're trying to pull up on it. The radiator fan, it would get hit right here, and it's gonna hit on this hose. There's no other alternative to get it up out of here. So take this hose off. When you get your hand off in here, get you some pliers. Like let me see, do I have any around here? Let me see. I'm trying to give you as much knowledge. Y'all bear with me. I know you might get annoyed, but I'm giving you the knowledge. I'm giving you the knowledge. Get you some pliers just like this right here, and it would allow you. Get you some pliers just like this. It'll allow you to go straight down. It'll allow you to go straight down and clamp on this clamp and move it back. When you move that back, you can now take some pliers like these and put it. You can now take some pliers like these and actually put it. If I can get the focus on it, left and right, break that seal. And when you pull this hose out of here, I'm sorry, I know it's not focusing. Let me get the camera back. Okay. Yeah, when you get that done, move that hose back, and then you'll be able to get the radiator fan up out of there. I know it's all over the place, but I'm just telling you the things that I ran into. So, I mean, let me just start over for a quick second. Remove that first. Remove that first with the undercarrier, and get to those radiator fan bolts. Get that up out of there. Like I say, do this with the hose. Get the hose up out of there, and when you get the motor halfway up in the air, you can be able to get to the alternator bolt, and you'll be able to get to the rest of the wire harness that goes through the AC compressor, because some way it feeds behind the AC compressor and behind it and fishes all the way through there, and you'll be able to get it out. And this is only the video. This video is only for the people that want to do it, that's like me, that have limited resources. I don't have an engine lift. I don't have a engine stand and all that. All I have is my good old handy dandy motor horse. Oh, and by the way, I had this motor horse. It was too short, So midways of taking this engine out, when I got ready to pull it out, this was too short. So this has done me very well, this Pittsburgh. If you do have this Pittsburgh motor hoist, do not use it. It's not going to allow you to get it out of here. If you want to be able to leave the front bumper on and everything on here and without having to mess up anything in the front bumper, you will need to get you the 2-ton motor hoist. You will need you a 2-ton motor hoist. You have to get you a 2-ton motor hoist to be able to have the arm reach to get in there. I'm gonna show you how I do it. I just use an exhaust bolt, put it back in the exhaust hole, put your bolt there. I put you in a boat, put your boat there. It's completely safe. There's no bind. This is not a no bind. It's completely safe, and that's how I did it. And on these right here, you want to keep your chain short. You don't want a lot of slack. Keep your chain short. So as soon as you pick up on it, it's starting to move the motor at that moment. You don't want to have a lot of slack on removing this motor. So I give you guys an update as I'm going back in with it. But this is, like I say, this video is for the guys that want to get it out from the top. It is possible on the Gen 6 Camaro. It is possible. This is bone stock, and this is removed with the torque converter. So the guys, the ones that doing it, the torque converter still in the vehicle, the only advice I have for you is that when you remove the starter on this passenger side, this is the only little access you have to get to these bolts. If you're gonna remove it with the torque converter still in the transmission, this is the only access hole right here to remove the torque converter bolts. So yep, I'm gonna end the video here. Feel free to comment below if you have any other questions. Just ask me and I'll try to give you the best knowledge I can.